Hey, shalom, shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. News in the gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the spirit. It says, Trump tells general the military will be used to fight the enemy within. Hey, it says President Trump held the use of military force to police American cities, telling generals, admirals during Tuesday address that's important to quell the enemy within. And who was the enemy within? Okay, you Jakes, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And they're using this whole thing of going at the migrants and Trent Diaga gang members and all this other shit, which I've yet to come across one of those people. All right. Yeah, I'm not saying they're not around here, but from what I'm noticing, I'm not seeing them commit any types of crimes. So this is just a ploy and a target attack against people of color in general. All right. And they're using these particular talking points and particular false flag events to lump you tribes up under domestic terrorism. And you know what? Be honest with you, I'm not really against it, because when I look at the state of our people, Jake is wicked. Okay. Jake murders, they rapes. They rob, they steal, they kill. And Jake, they just completely out of order. Okay, you got a bunch of YNs and bonnet heads running around here, bringing terror on their own neighborhoods. And you know what? Hey, let the Most High do what he got to do. Because we not hopping in front of no bullets to save a fucking nigga or a nigga woman. A YN or a YNB, which stands for young niggas and young nigga bitches. We don't give two fucks about any of you. And that's just real talk, because the Lord doesn't care about you. And he's using the tenets of the so-called white man to come into your neighborhoods and round your monkey asses up. And good for you. Okay? But it says San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places. And notice this is Democrat-led cities. It says they're very unsafe places, and we're going to strain them out one by one. So that means that he's getting ready to use the troops, man. Okay? As, hey, this devil's coming down with great wrath. Now, I got a couple of videos I want to play. But let me look this up real quick. Search web. U.S. cities should be military training grounds, Trump tells generals. It says Trump tells generals U.S. cities should be military training grounds. And I remember going back to Jade Helm 15, when they was doing mock drills, they was making replicas of like neighborhoods, and it was going in and it was doing these reconnaissance drills. You don't think that they have your neighborhood and your zones gridded off? Okay, you don't think they know how to take Chicago? You don't think they know how to take over certain territories in Chicago where you gangs reside at? You stupid. Okay, you think you know your gangways and your alleys and your crosswalks better than them? They the one that created your city, so they know them better than you. You know? Now, here, this is just some stuff I saw on Reddit. And this is basically the result of it, because now they're talking about, even with ICE, they're talking about bringing in certain federal troops to help the ICE people detain their targets and protect them. I think they was talking about sending in 100 extra troops to help protect ICE because people are getting violent. But we found out during these protests and shit as well that these ICE agents are literally terrorizing people. You know, they're shooting rubber bullets at people, tear gas, and they're having a gay old time while doing it. And people are there just exercising their right to protest, man. And you're going to find out that a lot of these so-called ICE agents are really bounty hunters. They head for hire, okay, to grab you jakes up. But this shit is getting ready to get deadly, because this is going to cause a reaction among the citizens of Babylon, and eventually people are going to start to revolt against the system. So peep this.
Bro, they taking people. What the fuck? Yeah, they took a family. They took what the fuck?
They take them, or they're just walking?
No, they just took them.
Hey, Stacy. Hey.
Can they just call CBD? What the
Where's the family?
They just took them in the car.
Inside this car.
Wait, what? Like, what did you just grab them?
Yes.
They just got him out of the street.
Like, did they not like show them anything?
Dude, they just fucking, they did like a face bump, like they accomplished something. What the fuck is wrong with them?
They did?
Like they did like a face bump to each one of
This is
them.
a jobs program for unemployable people. Yeah. That's what this all is. These are unemployable men who have chosen not.
Look at these motherfuckers out here. Don't you guys got something else to do? Get the fuck out of here.
And they was passing laws for them to not cover their face. And a lot of these people are not even U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. A lot of them, you can literally grab one of those off Amazon. You can grab a U.S. Customs and Borders agent's vest and some get up off Amazon and do a couple of push-ups and put on a tight-ass white T-shirt and walk around in some fatigues. You'll look legit, man. You know? But nonetheless, troops are needed here in America. I mean, point blank period. And what you're seeing now ain't nothing compared to what we getting ready to see. Because one day you people are going to wake up and every last one of your streets are going to be flooded with troops, checkpoints, okay, concentration camps. I mean, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be like a whole different world. All right. You can't even go down the street without running into a checkpoint asking you about your credentials. Okay. This is the type of society we coming into.
Look at these motherfuckers out here. Don't you guys got something else to do? Get the fuck out of here. Look at these motherfuckers. Sister on Armitage. Hi! 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 What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Do something. Do something. It's all good. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
And you women are fucking stupid, man. He got your ass right on camera. You know why he did that? Because eventually it's gonna come a time that they gonna come back and they gonna grape the fuck out you women, man. See, what a lot of you don't realize is that a lot of these are really foreign troops in disguise, all right? This can literally very well be the fucking UN. You just don't even know it because they're wearing U.S. get up. Okay, because where these UN troops gonna come in at? They already here. And the scripted salary removed far from you, the Northern Army. So, you know, they're gonna have to replace these current troops with the foreign troops. And I believe that some of these people that's doing ICE bidding may be foreign troops, but they may not, you may not know. That's why a lot of them got them fucking gators on too, man. You know, and I speak as a man when I say that. I have no definitive proof, but it doesn't surprise me. All right, because the UN has been over here for fucking decades. And he took a picture of her because they know. It's just a matter of time.
Oh, these motherfuckers have a Mexican flag on their car. Look at that. Beautiful. 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 What a Mexican flag. Get the fucking flag, bitch. What's up? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here! Cowards! Look at all the fucking cowards while you're visiting our city! They kidnap families! They kidnap fucking families! They destroy families!
They abducted two
They
children
destroy Chicago over
yesterday.
here! Terrorists!
They just
They're
abducted
fucking
two
terrorists!
children.
They're terrorists! Fuck you! Cowards!
Hey, you guys get your mace.
And they're not worried about you people because they know that you people ain't equipped to do nothing to them. You know, you're just a bunch of talk.
Blackhawks flying over Chicago.
Downtown Chicago.
Come on.
This is my city! This is my city, that's right! Take off your mask!
Pussies. Fucking bitches.
What?
What?
Stay inside of your houses, everyone. Do not come out. Stay in your houses. Quédense en su casa. Tienen derechos todos. No salgan si no hay una orden firmada por un juez.
Yeah, the fucking bitch scared. All that tough shit you talking. Eventually, there's gonna come a time that just gonna unalive your ass right on the spot, man. You people ain't ready. Revelation 12:12, it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he have a short time." This is part of the great wrath, man. And like I said, it's still kind of quiet right now. They're just showing their might. They're just showing their presence. But it's gonna come a time that when shit hits the fan, that they're gonna start to unload on you people. And when they start to unload on you people, that's when you're gonna start to realize how real shit gonna get. Because in some cases, certain videos I saw, they was tear gassing people, man, and they was laughing while doing it. Okay, tear gas and rubber bullets, that can be deadly, okay? But it says here, "Rejoice, ye heavens, and them that dwell in, born to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil should come down into you having great wrath, because he have but a short time." And this is where we're at, okay? Let's go here to the book of Jeremiah 18:22. This is what basically what Jeremiah put upon you because of your wickedness. And it says here, "Give heed unto me, O Yahweh, and hearken to the voice of them that contend with me." It says, "Hearken to the voice of them that contend with me." It says, "Shall evil be recompensed for good?" Because, you know, when we go out there and we speak, it's ultimately for the benefactor of our people. Okay, we're not out there trying to incite riots or anything like that, or, you know, just deliberately piss people off. But we is out there to ruffle feathers because that's what the prophets did. Okay, we have to declare the evil that our people have been compelling themselves in, and Jake don't like it, so therefore they come up against us. They did the same thing to Jeremiah, man, okay, because they didn't like the message that he came with. It was too rough, you know. Because one thing about Jake don't like to be called out when it comes to their wickedness, to their evil doing. And it says here, "For they have digged a pit for my soul, but remember that I stood before thee to speak good of them and to turn away thy wrath for them." And ultimately, because, you know, the prophets, they love their people. Okay, as a general, we love our people and we want to see them do better. But the state of their end now, we just say, fuck them, the hell with them. Okay, these niggas deserve to have troops in their city. You got a bunch of fucking, what's this guy name, who they gave a national holiday. What's this nigga's name? Not YMN Melly, the other clown, NBA young boy. Niggas completely spaced out, you know, on drugs and perks. And he's the model for the YNs out here. You know, Pooh Shiesty, that type nigga, Kodak Blacks, they're like model, you know, King Von's, you know, the drill rap, that bred a new batch of YNs out here. You know, so why not send adversity into these cities to eliminate them niggas? Because like I said before, if I was Trump, you know, I will grab them, you know, the ones that you don't unalive, because, I mean, you're going to need a fighting force. So, you know, hey, if you don't unalive them per se, grab their ass up against their will, start at the age of 12 years old, grab them up and take them to the nearest training facility, basic train them and send their ass over to the Middle East. I mean, that'll be more agonizing. That would be mentally agonizing. Or if you want to really fuck that psyche up, send them to war and let them see how it is. I mean, you unaliving them on the spot, that works too. But then again, you know, you kill a nigga, he's back in the spirit world, he's good. The Most High is gonna make these niggas suffer, man. So what I see, outside of them coming in and unaliving Jake in the mass raid, because that's gonna happen too, but I see a lot of these YNs being grabbed up and shipped over to the Middle East to fight this war. Okay, they gonna shave them motherfucking dreads, you gonna put a fucking M16 in your hand and say, go to work, nigga. And they might not even give you basic training, because Esau, he don't give a fuck about our people. Okay, quiet as kept. It's not even quiet as kept. Esau don't give a damn about you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You know, he just don't. But it says here, "Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them and to turn away thy wrath from them. Therefore, deliver up," it says, Fucking allergies, man. But it says, therefore, deliver up their children to the famine and pour out their blood by the force of the sword. And let their wives be bereaved of their children and be widows. And let their men be put to death. Let their young men be slain by the sword in battle. Okay. And technically, civil war, that's a battle. All right. That's a battle because, I mean, you know, it's a war. Especially, you know, on American soil. It's not going to be good. You know, as we know, the YNs, they have no structure. They have no loyalty. They have no understanding of war. They just know switches, extendos, and chitty bang bang and pew pews. That's all they know. You know, and how to run and trip over each other. They have no general IQ when it comes to fighting a war. So they cooked, you know. And it says, let a cry be heard from the houses when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them. So this is going to be suddenly. For they have digged the pit to take me and hid snares for my feet. Yet, Yahweh, thou knowest all their counsel against me to slay me. So forgive not their iniquity, neither blot out their sin from thy sight, but let them be overthrown before thee. Deal thus with them in a time of thy anger. Okay? So, this is where we're at. And the Most High is getting ready to release the great wrath on Jake because, you know, Jake has been in the wrong, to say the least. Okay? You niggas, you're wrong. Period. And the Heavenly Father has had enough of your shit. We've had enough of your shit. And we're getting ready to see the Heavenly Father really get ready to put belt to ass, so to speak, to you tribes, man. Finally. Okay, they can justify it and say, yeah, we're going after violent gang members. When they say gang members, that's putting majority of Jake under a broad spectrum because we know in Chicago it's full of, you got over 100,000 active gang members in Chicago. Okay, LA, Philly, Baltimore, New York, fucking Memphis, New Orleans. I mean, you know, it's down south. That's grease nigga capital down there, man. Okay, if you see some of the slums and the hoods down in Tennessee or Memphis and in New Orleans and Louisiana, New Orleans and you got New Orleans and then you got Louisiana. I always get it mixed up. I always think they're the same. I mean, I guess because they're so close, but in proximity, but same type of niggas, man. You know, them Baton Rouge niggas, them some swamp, grimy, alligator skin eating niggas down there. And they need to be clamped up, all right? Because they don't do nothing but bring destruction to their own fucking people. Okay, they don't go beat down the white man's door and rob him and his lady at gunpoint, but instead they go beat up the local, the lady that's there across the hall from them. You know, that's carrying her all these groceries, man, with no help. They'll go rob her and shoot her in the face, but yet they don't do nothing to Esau. So fuck Jake, you know? The hell with Jake, man. So let's go here. Let's play this video. I'm gonna play this one at the end. Matter of fact, yeah, let's play this.
Of serious intensity. We took out 1,700 career criminals. If you have 5 career criminals, they can make your numbers look very bad.
And these are the worst criminals of them all. These are the real gang members. This is where all this shit come from. These men right here perpetuate the violence that we're seeing going in our hoods. And yet they turn around and blame Jake when they're the benefactor behind it all. You know? So the Most High gonna get 2 birds in 1 stone because Jake was dumb enough to listen to it.
Because they'll commit many crimes a day. But we took out 1,700 and they took them out. There was no doubt who the boss was. They did an unbelievable job. Then they started even cleaning. I said, I don't want them doing that, sir. They were cleaning it up. I drove through it 2 days ago. It was beautiful. People are walking down the street holding hands. Man and wife coming from Iowa. They're not worried about being shot. Washington, D.C. is now a safe city. In fact, I went out to dinner with my crew. I haven't done that. In theory, I wouldn't do it. And I felt totally safe. And nobody's been attacked. Nobody's been hurt. Washington, D.C. went from our most unsafe city to just about our safest city in a period of a month. We had it under control in 12 days. But give us another 15, 16 days, it's perfect. And people other than politicians that look bad, they think, you know, the Democrats run most of the cities that are in bad shape. We have many cities in great shape too, by the way, I want you to know that. But it seems that
Well, Kansas City is a Republican state, but it's a Democrat city. I think, if I'm not mistaken, but Kansas City is a shithole. Okay, this is a flyover state, so you don't really hear about a lot of crime, but this place ranks 8 on per capita as far as murder, man. For whatever reason, you got these peasy head Jakes down here that wants to be hand in hand with St. Louis, because I think St. Louis is number 3. Kansas City is number 8. You know, and for whatever reason, these jakes pride on having the title, oh, this is murder capital. Why in the hell would you be glorifying murder, man? Okay, our people are fucking wicked, bro. You know, that's why the scriptures go into, what's that precept? Damn. Not in Proverbs. Yeah, I mean, it's actually, it goes into travel not with a bold fellow. That's a good one, but also in Proverbs as well. Matter of fact, Proverbs 1 is good too. Proverbs 1, and I'm going to start at verses 8. It says, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. For they should be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. Right? A chain represents bondage, or you being connected to something, right? It says, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us and let us wait for blood, and let us lurk privately for the innocent without cause. That's the YN niggas. It says, let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and the whole as those that go down to the pit. And we should find all precious substance. We should fill our houses with spoil. That's them snatching grabs when they run into people's homes and grabbing things up and raiding Louis Vuitton stores. It's just, it's crazy. And it says, cast in thy lots among us, and let us all have one purse. But my son, walk not thou in the way with them, and refrain thy foot from thy path. It says, for their feet run to evil, and make haste to shed blood. Okay, yeah, because a nigga, like we say, Apostle Tar said, he said, you know, you get into it with Jake will riddle you with bullets. You get into an argument with Jake, before you know it, your car got 80 bullets in it, man. Just off some craziness, man. It could be some over, you can literally be arguing over a glass of water and it can go deadly, because that's how unhinged and emotional niggas are. You know? And it says, surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, but in they lay in wait for their own blood, backdooring each other. They lurk privately for their own lives, man. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof, man. So you got to be careful out here dealing among these niggas, bro, because these niggas are unhinged. This is why, hey, Trump is saying what he's saying. Okay, Assyrian, Isaiah 10:5. O Assyrian, the rod of my anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. The modern day Assyria is Esau. It says, I will send him against the hypocritical nation, and that's you, Jakes. And against the people of my wrath would I give him a charge to take the spoil, and to take the prey, and to tread them down like the mire of the street. So he gonna come into your neighborhoods, and they're gonna put you down, man. And a lot of you that they don't put down, they're gonna grab you up, they're gonna kidnap you, throw you in a black van, ship you out to the nearest detention center. And those of you that don't have a form of rehabilitation, they're gonna fucking torture your ass, man, until your spirit leave your body. And those of you that may have some semblance of rehabilitation, they're gonna basically put a fatigue on you, put an M16 in your hand, and ship you over to fight World War III so you can get smoked out there. You know? So that's the only option for you, Jakes, man, to repent. But you're not gonna do it.
Ones that are run by the radical left Democrats, what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places. And we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. Controlling the physical territory of our border is essential to national security. We can't let these people in. You know, we had no people enter in the last 4 months. Zero. Even I can't believe that. You know, we had millions coming in, pouring in. 25 million all told. And of those 25 million, many of them should never be in our country. They would take their worst people and their people from prisons and jail, and they'd put them in a caravan and they'd walk up. CNN was interviewing one person. Oh, why are you coming? I want freedom. Good. Were you in jail? Yes. For what? Murder. He said, you were in for, you had to see this anchor, a young woman. She's like, I couldn't believe. She'll probably lose her job. But because the left doesn't want to hear that. But we're running it based on common sense and based on love of our country.
Let's do this.
And then I told Pete, we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military.
We have breaking news. President Trump just made a major announcement. He wants more than just the National Guard deployed to some of the country's biggest cities like Chicago and Portland.
And he wants active military there to, quote, use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds. As you just heard, he later described what he sees in Portland.
Portland, Oregon, where it looks like a war zone. And I get a call from the liberal governor, sir, please don't come in. We don't need you. I said, well, unless they're playing false tapes, this looked like World War II anymore. But
now, he later claimed that he sent federal troops to Seattle to stop protests during his first term.
And so you look at some of the things where they took over parts of Seattle. They actually took over a big percentage of Seattle. Think of that. You remember that. That was a while ago. And I sent in the troops and they were gone.
The magazine reports federal officers were deployed to Seattle in 2020, but were quickly withdrawn. Some of our reporters on the ground said they never saw federal troops, only local police.
And the president just wrapped up that speech to military leaders in Virginia. It comes a day after our own state and city leaders sent a stern message to the White House, and they told the president to stay out of Seattle. Fox 13's Sean Chitness live at Seattle City Hall with more on the state's message to the White House. Sean, good morning.
Bill, good morning. And both the mayor of Seattle as well as Washington's attorney general making those comments together before what we just heard from the president and any clear sign that troops are actually coming to Seattle. But even with those most recent comments the president made, both of these.
We need to bring them motherfuckers to St. Louis and Kansas City. St. Louis, if anything.
Leaders saying that they want to be prepared and sharing what they might be able to do to try and stop troops from arriving here, or at least fight that decision. So Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell explaining that he plans to release an executive order with actions the city can take if the Washington National Guard is mobilized. Attorney General Nick Brown says the state is ready to challenge the Trump administration in court, but couldn't say for sure who would have the final call on directing the National Guard, the governor or the president.
Seattle is certainly not war-ravaged, neither is Portland. We do not see anything happening here that would lead or generate an insurrection.
We do not need the federal government bringing in armored vehicles, semi-automatic weapons, military personnel to make, quote-unquote, us safer.
So hundreds of people protested the decision to send troops to Portland outside an ICE facility there. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi reacted to that demonstration by saying they were not peaceful.
And that's a wicked, evil bitch right here. All right, if anything, she's a fucking puss. She might not even be real. Because she may be some type of, you know how back in the 90s they had them puppeteers, like to control Chucky and Leprechaun? She may be a fucking puppeteer. She may be a drone or something. All right, she just looked spaced out and found out that she was part of the Epstein shit too. I know whether she was a victim or involved in it. I think it was a picture of her and Trump. I think she was like 14 years old. So you know she was taking it up the rectum pretty tough to get in the position she's in. But you could tell she's all spaced out. She's probably high on coke, heroin, all types of shit, because these devils, man, they through. But what you're seeing now is a political divide. This is clearly division. And look what Yahweh Shai said about division, man. All right, division, Matthew's. Let's get it in Luke 11 and 14. And see what it says here. Let's go to Luke 11:14. Yep, so this is the book of Luke 11. And I'm going to start at verses 17. And it says here, but he, knowing that thought, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. Okay, and right now America is divided because you got people that's with this, and then you got people that's saying no, this is a recipe for disaster because martial law will be enacted. And it's going to happen regardless, because eventually, I mean, even if he don't send them here for this reason, when this system falls, they're going to send the military in anyway. Okay, they got to mass microchip you people, and they got to throw you in these FEMA camps. So that's already setting the stage here. And by him sending these troops to these different cities, that's already starting the tensions for civil war. And this is what they want. Okay, and it says, if Satan also be divided against himself, how should his kingdom stand? But ye say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub, which is the Lord of the Flies, man. All right. Ezekiel 21. And I'm going to start at verses 8. And again, the word of Yahweh came into me saying, Son of man, prophecy and say, thus says Yahweh, a sword is sharpened also furbished. And furbished goes into being altered. It says, it is sharpened to make a sword slaughter, and it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? Right, because Jake, they don't take nothing serious. It's always clubbing, playing games, and folly. It's never a time of Solomon, you know. It says, a contempt and rod of my son is every tree, and he have given it to be furbished that it may be handled. It says, the sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it to the hand of the slayer, all right? And the slayer is this damn Edomite. It says, cry and howl, son of man, for it should be for upon my people, and it should be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword should be upon my people. Smite therefore on the thigh. Okay, so he's going to give this so-called white man the go-ahead to go batshit crazy on you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And when you look at the way you're acting, I mean, it's really the Heavenly Father. That's how we know it's going to be certain. All right?
Peaceful but radical extremists, and that anyone who threatened or assaulted an officer would be charged federally. But Portland police said that the protest was peaceful and that they only made 2 arrests. President Trump announced over the weekend he was sending troops to Portland, which he called a war-ravaged city. He said they could use full force because ICE facilities are under siege by Antifa and domestic terrorists. So we have reached out to the Washington State Republican Party to see if they have any reaction to what the mayor and the attorney general said here. We're waiting to hear back from them. Live in Seattle, Sean Chitnan.
Yep. So yeah, man, it's a political division, and I don't know why this video ain't uploading yet. It should have been there. All right, so I'll get one last precept and I'll play that video and end it. 2nd Ezra 16, and I'm going to start at verses 68. It says, but behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they should take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. We use that to say the chip, you know. It says, and they that consent unto them should be had in derision and reproach and trodden under foot. Yeah, so you resist, you fucked. You don't resist, you fucked. Because you ain't of the elect, you fucked. But it says, for there should be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Okay, it says a great insurrection. It says they should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahweh, the Israelites. But they should waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they should be tried as gold in the fire. Okay, so this is where we're at, or where we're heading to currently. But with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you are edified. To the next lesson. Shalom.
This building, and that helicopter has just inserted snipers for the protection of all these federal agents you can see entering the building. What they are after, 6 particular individuals associated with Tren de Aragua. They say these individuals are responsible for dealing in guns, long guns and handguns, as well as drugs. The helicopter is now just taken off. This is really an unprecedented show of federal force. Almost 300 agents coming to get control of this building and the people inside. They detained about 24 people, searching only apartments where no rent was being paid. So far, we don't know if they got the high-value targets they've been tracking. One guy did display a Tren de Aragua tattoo. But the new detainees are being held and processed at this ICE facility in Broadview.
300 federal officials to that apartment complex. Some even rappelled down from Blackhawks onto the rooftop in order to help secure that perimeter. Now, they were searching for suspected members of the violent Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. Of course, TDA has been designated as a terrorist organization under the Trump administration. Now, it was the biggest show of force that we've ever seen on the ground here. We had agencies FBI, Border Patrol, ICE, and ATF all involved here, and they were all looking for targets in that same exact building. It was a 5-story building. It was a tall task for them, and anything could have gone wrong, but luckily the operations went pretty smoothly. Preliminary reports show that about 30 illegal immigrants were arrested in this operation, some of them suspected Tren de Aragua. Now, we talked with Chief Gregory Bovino, who's running the operations on the ground for many of these ops in Chicago, and he had some words for people that are pushing back against his operations. Take a listen.
How about you live in the apartment next door to Tren de Aragua members that are trafficking in prostitution, guns, drugs, and taking advantage of American citizens in a violent way? Why don't you live next to them and then see how much of a Gestapo or a Nazi we are?
Federal agents went into homes in the South Shore area last night carrying out immigration enforcement. Border Patrol officials confirming they were looking for Venezuelan gang members.
They say that they arrested more than a dozen people. Fox 32's Joni Lum has more.
A Chicago FBI official confirms the raid in South Shore was part of targeted immigration enforcement and multiple law enforcement agencies were involved. Neighbors say they were awakened by loud noises in the middle of the night and saw that federal agents dressed in military-style uniforms had surrounded the building at 75th and South Shore Drive. Hundreds of agents were on the scene. A Border Patrol official told Fox News they were seeking 6 high-priority targets, including suspected members of Tren de Aragua, a Venezuelan criminal organization. The official said the building had been overtaken by criminal, undocumented immigrants. One neighbor who did not want to be identified said he saw people being taken out of the building.
I have a lot of mixed emotions about this. You know, I've just moved over here about a year ago, and just seeing it happen in person, it's kind of sad. You hear people screaming, you hear loud bangs and pops, you see, children outside standing, I don't know if they're with their parents or not. I mean, it's a little scary,
More than a dozen people were taken into custody and are being processed at the Broadview ICE facility, according to authorities.